Come on in, come on in. Yes, it's another edition of the Weekly Entertainment News Podcast. I'm your brother Hiram Akeem, and once again, I'm in the building. Listen, this time, I'm in the building representing a little something different, okay? Of course, I'm representing the Reporter Newspaper Online.com, which is a part of the Reporter Newspaper, Akron's only black publication, news publication that's been in business for over 50 years. This time, we're going to put a little entertainment to the next level. What do I mean? I mean, we're going to do culture, okay? This podcast is not only going to be about culture, it's going to be about hip-hop and sports media all together. To me, all together, that symbolizes entertainment news. From a cultural perspective, from a hip-hop perspective, and from a sports media perspective. Of course, I'm your media man, Brother Hiram Akeem. We're going to kick this thing off right, just like I said before. We're going to talk about something that's been on my nerves for a minute.
Let's go.
We're going to talk about sports in particular. When I talk about sports, I got to be talking about Cleveland Browns because that's where we at. We're in Blackburn, Ohio, which is a football throw away from Cleveland, Ohio, okay? I got to be talking about the young nephew.
Surprise!
Okay? I got to be talking about Shedeur Sanders. Now, everybody know all this negative bashing of my young star, okay? The QB1 of the Cleveland Browns, as far as I'm concerned. Every time I turn around, somebody on 92.3, on the YouTubular, somebody is talking negative about the young star, okay? And I think somebody needs to tell you guys why we're hearing so much negative propaganda, negative insight, negative narratives about the young Sanders, right? I think I'm going to go there. Okay? You know, sometimes some people tell me, hey, man, you make stuff a little too blunt, a little too black when you speak. Well, I got to go there. All right? I want you guys to understand something. When we hear negative news coming from these NFL pundits, these YouTube people, and these radio personalities, these newspaper people that write in the newspaper, the beats and stuff like that, we got to understand something. Who are we hearing from in those particular jobs? Who are they? What do they look like? What do they talk like? What do they swag like? Culturally speaking, who are these people? Okay? Well, look, let me tell you something. When we talk about sports talk, we got to be talking about who are we talking about? Not just the subject matter they're talking about, but as we trying to figure out why so much negativity on our young star Shedeur, we need to be figuring out who the hell is saying it and why. Well, check it out. It's no secret. I always ask people this when we get in these type of topics. I always ask people, how many people do you think live in America? A lot of people don't know. For the most part, as of 2000 and about a year or so ago, when they checked the census, okay, a while back, it was anywhere from 348 million. Let me check my quote. Anywhere from 342 to 348 million people living in America. That's a lot of people, right? So I always ask folks, how many black people do you think live in America if 348 so people live here? How about this? It's 235 million Europeans or white people live here in America. 200. That's 71% of the population here in America that lives in America that are white or European. Okay? Some of the white people don't even consider themselves fully white because they mix and stuff like that. But we're not going to talk about that segment. We're going to talk about the collective as a whole, Eurocentric America as a whole. That's 200, let me look at my quotes, 235 million white people, okay? That's 235 million white folks, okay? That's influencing the media, the newspaper, the beats, everything, the sports talk, okay? They're speaking from their perspective. So let me ask yourself, how many black people do you think live in America? I'm just going to look here and say, well, it's only 43 million. I'm going to say it again. It's only 43 million black people living in America that identify themselves as FBA, okay? As foundational black America, whatever the hell they say, okay? These are us, okay? That is what it is. far as the African American experience, 100% ex-slaves stranded in the wilderness of North America, it's only 43 million of us compared to 235 million. So when you look at football, when you look at basketball, and you look in the stadiums from your TV where you think you are supporting, you're just watching, you can see who's in the bleachers. It's Europeans mostly in the bleachers outside of Atlanta. Okay, and some small niches, okay? But you see mostly white folks or Europeans in the seats, buying the season tickets and supporting. Support means to throw some money at, okay? These are the people that's doing it. Okay, you can just look. You at home chilling, just look. Next time you watch a basketball game, see who's playing and see who's paying, okay? White folks are paying, black folks are playing. Okay, I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm going somewhere with this. Follow me. Feel me before they kill me. So when we see that and we know this to be the truth, we know it's only 43 million of us and it's 235 million of them influencing the media as a whole, from radio to TV to Instagram to Facebooklet to anything. We got to know that when they speak about us, they're speaking about us from a cultural perspective that they have or don't have. They do their thing their way, we do our thing their way. Let me give you an example. When you hear people talking about Shedeur Sanders, if they usually outside of the culture, most of the time it seems like they're bashing. I know we got some tools and fews that's not bashing like that, but we also got a lot of them that are, especially here in Cleveland. I mean, you be like, damn, is this the same guy? And then they'll say, well, Shedeur got a whole bunch of uncles and aunties. Well, that's right, he do. Because at the end of the day, when you say a whole bunch, what are we really talking about compared to 235 million? We're talking about the part of the 43 million that we have that's speaking up for the injustice and the downright disrespect of a football player that's only played 7 games from last year. Okay, so when we look at those numbers, we got to understand that when we hear Eurocentric America reporting on this guy, they're reporting on what they see. They're doing it from a cultural perspective, meaning they used to having point blank, they used to having a white leader leading these people on the football field. That's the quarterback. I know times has changed, but we do know when you are confident and assure yourself, when you're a black man in America, Europeans, most of the time, some of the time, are uncomfortable with that style. They say he's arrogant, he's braggadocious. No, but you juxtapose that or compare that to the white, okay, I'm going here, to the white quarterback. They say he's the way a man should be. He's a leader amongst men and all that type of stuff, okay? So sometimes when I see this stuff, I get pissed off. I'm like, man, I'm tired of hearing this shit. Okay, every time I turn around, they like saying stuff like the brother can't. I'm talking about Shedeur. The brother can't read the damn plays, ain't studying, don't know how to study, and we know what the truth is. Hell, I don't need to go over and over about what everybody else has been saying, like all the black YouTubers and stuff like that, trying to combat all the negative comments that's coming out of Cleveland, especially with the media. Okay, we know what they're saying. We know all the stuff that they're saying, and we know the stuff that we are saying. That we are saying that's completely false and fake. I'm not going to say it point for point, but what I am going to say, we need more of us talking about us in a positive light, because there's way too many of them reporting on sports and it's us playing the damn thing, and way too little of us, okay, that's reporting on us. So it looks like we are rallying up behind young Shedeur Sanders, and we are. And that's the only reason why I say, hey, I'm going to add some sports to my commentary, because I feel it's my duty. I've been in media for years. I'm working for a black newspaper here in Akron, Ohio. So I got to say something. I got to be the one to bring that knowledge you can't get in college. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to bring that knowledge you can't get in college, give you the figures so you can figure out what the hell and why. That is not to be blaming the Europeans, understanding their culture, how they swag. But when you are ignorant, black man, when you are ignorant, black sister, and wondering why they keep hating, it ain't prejudice. It is point blank. They're not swinging like that. They don't really, that's not their cup of tea. So they come out and speak on it like that, and it comes off crazy. Well, we got our own cup of tea, man. And I want to tell everybody, keep supporting these YouTube channels. Keep supporting the Black independent media when it comes to our cup of tea. Big up, Shedeur. Okay, and good luck to be QB1 for the Cleveland Browns. What else am I talking about, man? Since I'm on this black stuff right now, and it is entertainment news, this is entertaining, but not as entertaining as some of you may think. Okay, I'm gonna go there. Look like Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Look like Idaho is wilding. Some spot up in they buck wilding. They trying to get rid of, get this, Juneteenth.
What? Oh my God.
So the mayor out there is saying we need to kill Juneteenth and uplift and reinstate, okay, Columbus Day. He said we need to do this because Europeans, okay, I know it's something crazy, are more comfortable acknowledging their culture and their heritage, like Columbus Day, than identifying with, I'm keeping it a buck, with some Johnny-come-lately Juneteenth that he said has only been around for 5 years. What the hell? And this is a mayor. Okay, a mayor thinks Juneteenth only been around for 5 years, not knowing or not acknowledging that Juneteenth kicked off in 1865 upon the last struggle between slavery and freedom, how it came down to Galveston, Texas, 2 years after the proclamation situation. Okay? The Emancipation Proclamation situation. He didn't know none of that. How in the hell are you a damn mayor of these United States, okay? Somewhere in these United States, okay? And you saying we don't need that city. I wish I knew the city, okay? And you trying to say, you guys, well, it is the city, I'm sorry. But you trying to say that we don't need to be, as a collective, as a city, okay? We don't need to be acknowledging that from a city perspective. We need to uphold or reinstate Columbus Day because it's more favorable to the American heritage. Now, what is this saying to you guys? What is it saying? These are the people that's driving the laws, okay? These are the people that's driving the economy, that's making decisions on the behalf of you, taxpayer, on the behalf of you, and they not knowing what American history is. It's not slavery, American history. Without slavery, there will be no, dare I say it, no American history as we know it, okay? Influentials with the banks. I mean, I keep going. This ain't the place. It's entertainment. I ain't trying to preach. I'm just trying to report on what's in the newspaper, okay? Forget about the newspaper. Don't forget, this is the Reporter newspaper, and it's been powered by the Reporter newspaper online.com. You can get it in the tangible form. That's the Reporter newspaper. Or you can go to online and see these articles that I'm talking about. It's the Reporter newspaper online.com. That's the website where you can get all this here news, right? So listen, I'd be less than who I am if I didn't talk about some entertainment direct, some more entertainment. We talked about sports at the top. Let's go with Busta Rhymes and T.I. Or let's go with T.I. and 50 Cent. What the hell? It looks like 50 Cent don't really want no problems as far as not just the beefs that's going on. I ain't talking about that. I was about as far as the verses. So it looks like my man Busta Rhymes threw his style, his crown back into the ring, trying to bring out T.I., no pun intended, bring him out, okay, and calling him out on social media this week, saying to T.I., Busta Rhymes saying to T.I. that he will bust his ass, pause, when it comes to performing the hits. Busta Rhymes seems to think hit for hit, he can outlast Tip, okay? What do you think? Who do you think can beat in the verses? Now, look, let me tell you mine. I'm going to give it a buck. I like T.I. I think this man got nothing but hit records. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He make quality hit records, you know, what producers to get with. He already know that. Same thing with Busta. He's been doing it for years, though. He know how to make hit records. Both of them have powerful record labels behind them. I think Busta Rhymes lately has been independent, going the independent route. But his status, he's doing live tours all over the place. You know what I'm saying? He is making it happen. Here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, it depends on what style of rap or hip-hop music you like. Because you know they say T.I. is the king of the South. He makes trap music. He makes that southern rap. He makes that's what he do. Busta Rhymes do the same thing, except he did his in the East Coast fashion. You know what I mean? Both of them have a huge crossover appeal. Now, what do I mean by crossover appeal? Crossover means if you're in one genre, you're in one lane, only those people that like that style of music is messing with it, is rocking with it. Okay, if you're making black rap, okay, one dimensional for the hood or whatever, or if you're making country music, one dimensional for the people that like country music, and nobody else is buying it but those specific markets, you haven't crossed over. But when you are selling to multiple markets, the people that like rap is buying your country. The people that like rock is buying your country. How about this? The people that like country is buying your rap. The people that like rock is buying your rap. Then you have crossed over. Hence the term, you have become popular, short for pop music. See? Pop music ain't a sound. I mean, ain't a genre. And it ain't necessarily a sound. It is you becoming popular in the whole marketplace of music. So T.I. and Buster are somewhat pop, okay, and popular. So it all depends on what you like to hear, where you swag at, and what you feel like. Listen, put it in the comment section. Let me know who you think beat in the verses. Okay, let me know who you think of beating the verses. Listen, I'm going all day with this damn thing because I got news and everything. Instead, I'm gonna come back with you on the next podcast because I don't like to keep you. I like to treat you. Until next time, have some fun and get something done, y'all. Peace.